So finding the correct link table information or finding the correct omniture tag or link information requires finding the correct campaign and link table in RI, Responses Interact. So if we go into the folders, we can do this fairly quickly, although it requires careful accuracy. If we scroll down in the folders and find a campaign-related folder based on year, calendar date is the standard naming convention. So we can select this one here, which has some LOEM trigger campaigns. You can filter, actually this was already defaulting, it will default to showing all types of files, so the link table will actually appear here, but the one easy way to go through this is to filter by campaigns. So you'll get just the campaign names. We can select this first one. If we click into that, and then we get the link table, we can view and edit the data from that link table, and a window will pop up with the omniture tags associated with that. So you can see them all here buried in with within the entire link URL. You can see within that link where it starts with HHO_email, the actual link as it would appear in the business objects email bookings report that we've reviewed. So we can quickly parse this data just with a quick macro functionality. If I select just Control-Alt to get everything in the window, we can right-click, copy that. If we go back to our C email reporting folder, this fix and dedupe link table just has a simple parsing macro in it. If it has the input tab, if we paste in the links as we just excuse me, found them within that link table, may take a few seconds because there's this one actually went quickly, but sometimes it will take a few seconds to paste just because there's a lot of hidden formatting characters. You can see that within this, if I just expand the column, obviously it gets really huge, really wide. You can see the tabs, or I'm sorry, the links from that we looked at before, starting with the HHO. So that is all in the column C, which is important to know. So when we run the actual macro, you can either do a shortcut to do this, and by the way, any macros, if you click the developer tab and then click macros, you can see what macros are available for this workbook. There's only one fixed link table. You can run it from here. You can see keyboard shortcuts, which in this case is Control-Shift-F. So you could run it from here, or more simply, if you remember that the shortcut is Control-Shift-F, we can run it from here. So as long as we're on this tab, we do Control-Shift-F. It will say enter column letter where the links are, so we know that's column C, because that's the column it's going to parse. Sometimes, depending how the link table is set up, it might be one of the other columns. Usually column C, sometimes column D, sometimes some other odd formatting, just because it pasted in all of the data that was in that window. So just confirm before you run the macro which column has the actual omniture tags. Click OK. You run it, and it parses it and dedupes it. So it's just to take a matter of seconds rather than manually going through that complicated window with all different tags and copying and pasting. You can download directly from here in a more formatted fashion by clicking the download button, but I find it faster just to select everything and copy and paste into this macro and let the macro do the parsing for you. So you can then go back to our campaign table daily spreadsheet, and when we open this up, this is, as we reviewed earlier, has the performance by metrics, by segment analysis metrics, email metrics reporting that we do on a daily basis. It also has our cell matrix that we reviewed earlier. So to add these to the cell matrix, we can just go back to these. So these, however many it is, 7 or 6 new tags can get added, and we would add those, copying those back to the cell matrix tab within the campaign table daily. If we just paste those in, And then we also want to add the other campaign and segment related information. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. Campaign is no problem because we can go back. Remember, we had the campaign that we looked at. That campaign name right at the top is actually the campaign name that would officially run in the performance reporting. So we can add that in next to these tags that we've just added. It'd be the same campaign name for all 6 of them. And then we should have added that later. Well, okay, and then I'll delete that for now for clarity. So then the other tricky thing here is to know what are the correct segment names that we want to associate. Now sometimes you can tell from looking at the SQL what the segment names are. You may know, because some of that is fairly consistent, types of segment names that get used based on product name, country, and some other factors, of course. If you don't know, the sure way to do this is if you set this up after the campaign has already launched, then you can see from the performance by segment analysis report what the actual campaigns are. It does have to be accurate because that's what allows the join between the email metrics and the sales reporting in the business objects report. So you can always tell from looking back at the performance by segment report, which remember we have in our export tab. We've got campaign name, column A, and the actual official segment name. And remember, if a particular campaign didn't have any defined segments, Responses adds the default no segment provided, so you will need to add that rather than leave it blank to our Excel matrix. And this one I don't think has run yet, so I'm not sure exactly what the segment names are, but we could add those from there and then add all the other information discussed previously: country name, product, the trigger name, what I deleted before. So in this case, just to add it back in, this might be LOEM trigger day 0, I think. I'm not sure what we call that one. We can do a quick filter to see what that is, what we've used previously, previous triggers, and we've got LOM, yeah, LOM day 0, 00. So for consistency, I won't add the word trigger there. It probably doesn't matter for capitalization, but just for consistency, again, we'll add that to there. Again, this can be any designation we want. In theory, it depends how you want it to show up in the dashboard. We wanted it to show LOM day 0 trigger. That's what all of these segments are. So we can copy that to all of those. And these are all NAM, so we could make all of these NAM. And the build, these are LOEM, so the build column was just to define LOEM and PVOEM. So we can make these LOEMs. And I don't think, let's see, do these have... Oh yes, so you'd want to add the partner names as well here. So based on the tag as we have it here. Those are eMachine, Gateway, Generic, HP, CPC. So you'd want to add those in similar, since that's going to be pretty consistent with previous ones. Yeah, we can see the eMachines and those others. So I want to add those in correctly depending on what the link is there. That one, first one, I'll just do one of these, would be generic. So this setup, US, I'll just do that for that one as well. And that's for product. So this is probably the most detail intensive in terms of it needs to be accurate, and everything will spin, any kind of reporting will spin off of this, because the cell matrix, again, is the key to linking the segment reporting and the email metrics to the actual sales reporting. And if anything is inaccurate in this, if you have the incorrect link or if you have the incorrect segment name, or we don't have all of those things, if you leave out any links, those aren't going to get picked up by any reporting that runs from this. So this only has to be added. You can see we're up to almost 3,500 rows here. This is set up from any previous, previously Omniture tag where sales were tracked to them. So anything new, you want to make sure you add to this. This whole table again is based off of what's set up in QuickBase, but it would have to get updated. And there's really, there's no simple way to do that other than manually somebody adding that, or different people adding the correct information to make sure the reporting is accurate.